Hey everybody. So I listened to a story told by a woman named Jenny Seminole Parker. I don't know how to pronounce her native name, but it meant brave woman, and I think that's just a big part of the story that she tells because she tells a story about how her family got their name and kind of the hardships that they went through. So she tells a story of how her family um, were pushed out of their homes by the U.S. military, and they had to move many, many hundreds of miles away. And they took weapons from them. They couldn't hunt. They had no food. They were getting sick. But they fought their way back to Montana, which is where she's from, Ashland, Montana. But one thing that really stuck with me was when her father said to her, "You will never know real fear until you have been chased and hunted like an animal." So when they were trying to make their way back to Montana, the military were trying to stop them. So they had to hide. And I can only imagine that kind of fear. So that part of her history is hard. That caused historical trauma for her. But she is sharing her story, and I think a lot of people can learn from that. We can learn from the past. So it's nice to have people that can pass down these stories. And how, like, the name came about. She's named after, she said there's many people in her family named Jenny, but they said when the military did get their family and were pushing them out, they told them that they could not have their native names anymore, that they had to have white people names. So their names got changed. And one of her family members had a really long name, but they cut it down to Seminole, and that's how she got her last name, and that just kind of stuck. So I think, yeah, it was a good story to listen to. And I think this can help us think about ways to understand other children's stories because they have hardships, they may have victories, and it's good to just understand that and know where they're coming from. Another story that I listened to was the Aboriginal one. I kind of liked how the drawing went with the story. So it was like the snake came out and made pathways for the water, and that's how they got the water on the land, which created life. And that kind of started a whole art era for them. And I thought that was pretty cool.